Discontent is boiling over across South Africa as growing numbers of citizens express frustration with President Cyril Ramaphosa's perceived inaction on the worsening crisis of illegal immigration. For years, South Africans have raised the alarm about undocumented foreigners allegedly straining public services, competing for scarce jobs, and contributing to rising crime. Yet, many feel their cries are falling on deaf ears. In townships and cities alike, the sentiment is palpable. From Johannesburg to Durban, Cape Town to Polokwane, residents are questioning what happened to the promises made by government leaders to tighten borders and enforce immigration laws. Instead of firm policies, South Africans say they have witnessed only more delay, more debate, and more people entering the country without documentation. Enough is enough, says Zandile Makona, a 32-year-old mother of 3 from Soweto. We are not against foreigners. We are against lawlessness. There are people here who have jumped the border and taken jobs that should go to locals. Our clinics are overcrowded, our schools under pressure, and nobody in government seems to care. These concerns are echoed online, where social media has become a platform for public outrage. Hashtags like #SecureOurBorders, #Put South Africans First, and #Ramaphosa Failed Us have trended repeatedly, particularly after incidents of violence or arrests involving undocumented immigrants. In many cases, South Africans feel they are not being xenophobic but rather demanding accountability from their leaders. The core of the anger lies in a belief that the government has failed to act decisively. While countries across the world are tightening border controls in response to security and economic concerns, many South Africans see their own borders as wide open. There is no political will, says analyst Saifo Molangu. The Department of Home Affairs is underfunded and overwhelmed, and yet there is little urgency from the top. We've had more talk shops than action plans. The people are losing faith. Civil society groups and political parties have also entered the fray. The Patriotic Alliance and Action SA, for example, have gained traction by campaigning on stricter immigration policies. Even within the ANC, murmurs of discontent have grown louder, with some party insiders admitting that the issue of illegal immigration is becoming a political liability. Moreover, recent reports suggesting corruption at border posts and within Home Affairs have only poured fuel on the fire. Whistleblowers and investigative journalists have alleged that bribes and fake documents are commonplace, allowing many to bypass immigration laws entirely. As the economy struggles with high unemployment and widespread inequality, the issue becomes even more sensitive. Millions of South Africans remain jobless, and some believe undocumented migrants are part of the problem, especially in the informal sector where labor laws are often ignored. However, critics argue that the government's lack of action has left a vacuum, one now being filled by anger, vigilantism, and sometimes violence. In some communities, frustration has boiled over into attacks on foreign-owned shops or clashes between locals and migrants. Experts warn that if the government continues to delay meaningful reforms, the consequences could be dire. President Ramaphosa needs to face this issue head-on, says political commentator Linda Dlamini. This is not just about immigration anymore. It's about state capacity, national security, public trust, and social cohesion. Ignoring it could be catastrophic. As 2025 continues to unfold and elections draw nearer, many are watching closely to see whether Ramaphosa's administration will finally take decisive steps, or whether public frustration will turn into political punishment at the polls. For now, the people have spoken loudly. They want answers, they want action, and they want it now.